Good day, everyone. So, for today, I will discuss the grading and reportings of assessment results. So, this includes the overview about the grading and reportings of assessment results and also the types of gradings and how to compute grades. Okay, one of the more frustrating aspect of teaching is that of grading and reporting students' progress since there are so many factors to consider and so many decisions to be made. This chapter attempts to simplify this task and to minimize some of the complexities by describing the various types of grading and reporting system and providing guidelines for their effective use. So the main aim of the grading and reporting system is to provide results in a brief, understandable form for varied users, which leads to several big questions. What should I count just to achieve or effort to? How do I interpret a student's score? Do I compare to do I compare it to other students' score or a standard of what can do or a criterion reference, or sometimes estimate of what they can do, or self reference. So, what should my distribution of grades be? And how do I determine it? How do I display student progress or strength and weaknesses? Of course, answers to these questions may be obtained from your school, which may have some policies or guidelines. Applying what you learn in this chapter, consulting your teacher, and then applying your good judgment or learning from first-hand experience. So measurement and assessment of learning are the first two steps in educational evaluation. Grading and reportings are the two terminal stages in the process. So measurements are simply numerical aids that guide our decision in the educative process. So it is therefore very important that we also pay attention to the process of giving grades and reporting these students, parents, and other stakeholders in the system. So, what is grading all about? So, grading is a systematic process of evaluating and assigning scores or qualitative assessments to students' academic work, typically based on predetermined criteria. So, it aims to measure a student's understanding of a subject and their ability to apply knowledge. So, grading system vary, encompassing letter grades, numerical scores, or descriptive feedback, and they play a crucial role in education by providing feedback to students and aiding in academic decision. So the purpose of grading. So the grading serve as a multiple purposes in education. So it provides feedback to students, assesses their understanding of the material, and helps educator track progress. So additionally, the grades can motivate students, set expectations, and serve as a basis for academic, career, and opportunities. However, it's essential to balance grading with a focus in fostering learning rather than just assigning scores. So these are the types of grading system. The first one is we have the traditional grading. So traditional grading refers to the conventional system used in educational institutions to assess and evaluate students' performance based on predetermined criteria. So it typically involves letter grades such as A, B, C, etc., or numerical scores. The next one is we have the pass or fail grading. So a pass or fail grading system is exactly as it is. A student receives either a pass or a fail mark instead of traditional number or letter grading system. The next one is we have the numeric grading. So, a numeric grading is a method of evaluating and representing a student's performance in a course or an assignment using numerical values, set often on a scale from 0 to 100. The next one is we have a rubric based grading. So, a rubric based grading is an assessment method that uses a predefined set of criteria or rubric to evaluate and score students' work. The next one is we have the standard-based grading. So standard-based grading or SDG is an educational system that focuses on the effectiveness of instruction and the mastery of skills or standard for a specific subject. Okay, let's proceed to computing grades. So how do we compute grades? So these are the steps on how to compute grades. So step one, grades from all students' works are added up. So this results in the total scores for each component, namely the written work, performance task, and quarterly assessment. So raw scores from each component have to be converted to percentage scores. So this is to ensure that the values are parallel to each other. So step 2, the sum for each component is converted to percentage score. So to compute the percentage scores, um, divide the raw scores by the highest possible score, then multiply the quotient by 100%. So this is shown below. So these are the formula. So the percentage score is equal to learners' total raw scores divided by the highest possible score, then multiply it to 100%. So the next one. So the percentage scores are then converted to weighted scores to show the importance of each component in promoting the learning in the different subjects. To do this, the percentage score is multiplied by the weight of the component found in table 4. So later on you will see the table 4. For grades 1 to 10 and table 5 for senior high school. So the product is known as the weighted score. So these are the formula. Weighted score is equal to percentage score times the weight of component. So this is the table 4, the weight of components for grade 1 to 10. So as you can see, these are the components for grade 1 to 10. So the written works, performance tasks, and quarterly assessments. So for language, AP and ESP, the components of written work is 30%. The performance task is 50%, and the quarterly assessment is 20%. So a total of 100%. So in science and math, the written works are 40%, performance task 40%, the quarterly assessment is 20%. So in MAPE, EPP, and TLE, the written works is 20%, performance task 60%, quarterly assessment 20%. So the grading system for senior high school follows a different set of weight for each component. So the table 5 presents the weight for the core and track subjects. So for the core subjects, written works is 25%, performance task 50%, quarterly assessment 25%. So in academic track, so composing of all other subjects, the work immersion, research, business enterprise, simulation, exhibit, performance. So, so in all other subjects, written works are 25%, the performance task is 45%, the quarterly assessment 30%, and for the work immersion, research, business enterprise, simulation, exhibit, and performance, written works is 35%, performance task is 40%, quarterly assessment is 25%. So in technical, vocational, and livelihood, or we also have all known for TVL, the the written works is 20%, the performance task is 60%, the quarterly assessment is 20%. Step 4. The sum of the weighted scores in each component is the initial grade. Okay, the initial grade will be transmuted using the given transmutation table to get the quarterly grade. Okay, so later on you will see the transmuted table. So this is the table 6 or the sample class record for English for students for the first quarter. So we have here the written works, a total of 30%, performance task 50%, the quarterly assessment 20%. So the highest possible score for the written works is 160. So we have here learner A, learner B, and learner C. So learner A got 145 total scores, then learner B 94, and learner C got 54. So in order to get the percentage scores for learner A, B, and C, we need to multiply the raw scores obtained by learner A, then the total highest possible score, and then multiply it to 100 or the percentage score. So learner A, 145 points, divide 160, so we got 0.90625. So we multiply it to 100 and we got 90.63. So learner B got 94 points in total, then we divide it into the highest possible score, which is 160. So we had point or 0.5875. So we multiply it to 100 and we got 58.75. So learner C got 54 points. So we need to divide it to 160. Then we had 0.33.7003375. So we multiply it to the the percentage score 100, so we got 33.75. So in order to get the weighted score, we multiply the percentage score obtained by learner A, B, and C to the total weighted score, which is 30%. So 90.63 times 0.30, so we got 27.19 for learner A. Then 58.75 multiply to 0.30% or to 0.30, we got 17.63. So learner C. Learner C got the percentage score 33.75. Then we multiply it to the weighted score, which is 30%. So we got 10.13. So the same as here in the performance task, we have a total highest possible score 120. Then learner A got 100 total points. Then learner B 109, then learner C 63. So the same as what we did in the written works, we multiply or we divide the raw scores obtained by learner A, B, and C to the highest possible score, which is 120. So, and after that, we multiply it to the percentage score. So, learner A got 100, so we divide it to the highest possible score, which is 120. So, we got 0.83. So, 0.853 rather. 53, then we multiply it to 100, so we got 83.33. So learner B, so learner B got 109 total raw scores. Then we divide it to the highest possible score, the 120. Then we got 0.9083. Then we multiply it to the percentage score, which is 100. Then we got 90.83. So learner C got 63 points. So we divided to 120. So we got 0.525. So we multiply it to the percentage score 100, then we got 52.50. So in order to get the weighted score again, we need the same as what we did to the written works. We multiply the percentage score obtained by learner A, B, and C to the weighted score 50%. So 83.33 multiplied to 0.50, so we got 41.67. So in learner B, 90, learner B got 90.83. So we multiply it to 0.50 or 50%. So we got 45.42. So learner C got 52.50. So we multiply it to the 50%. Then we got 26.25. So the same as the quarterly assessment. So in computing the initial grade, we need to combine the weighted score obtained in written works, performance tasks, and quarterly assessment. So learner A got weighted score 27.19 in written works, and um, plus the performance task, learner A got 41.67. Then quarterly assessment, learner A got 16. So to sum it up, um, the total or the initial grade for learner A is 84.86. Then learner B got weighted score for the written works. So 17.63. Then for the performance task, learner B got 45.42. Then for the quarterly assessment for learner B got 19.20. So we add all of those, then it sum to 82.25. For learner C, so learner C got 10.13 for the written works, and for the performance task, learner C got 26.25, and for the quarterly assessment 11.60. So we add those, and it sum to 47.98. So in order to get the quarterly grade, we need to look at the transmutation table. So here is the transmutation table. So this is the transmutation table. So let's go back to, okay, so learner A got 84.86 initial grade. So pangitaon na to siya diri sa transmutation table og asa ang iyang transmuted grade. So here it is, 84.85. So iyang transmuted grade kay 90, which is right there, 90. For learner B, so si learner B nakakuha siya og 82.25. So balik ko na itong tanaw diri sa transmutation table. Ang 82, iyang transmuted grade is 88. Tanaw balik og sakto ba siya. Okay, 88. And for the initial grade for learner C. So sa learner C, nakakuha siya 47.98. Tanaw tayo check na to og sakto ba siya. 47. Where's 47? Oh, dara. 47. 71 iyang transmuted grade. Okay, correct. So these are the steps on how to compute the grade. So we now proceed to step 5. The quarterly grade for each learning area is written in the report card of the student. So steps for computing grades. So step 1, get the total score for each component, as what we did earlier. Then divide the total raw scores by the highest possible score, then multiply the quotient by 100%. So step 3, convert percentage scores to weighted scores. Multiply the percentage scores by the weight of the component indicated in table 4 and table 5. That's what we did earlier. We convert the percentage scores to weighted scores. Then step 4, add the weighted scores for each component. So the result will be the initial grade. So in step 5, we transmute the initial grade using the transmutation table. So kanisha, transmutation table. Okay. Okay, here's some example. So written work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the total of 145. Then ang highest possible score niya is 160. Then learners raw scores. Then the performance task. So performance task 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a total of 100%. Then the highest possible score is 120. Same as the quarterly assessment, 40. Then the highest possible is 50. Okay, step 2, divide the total raw scores by the highest possible score, then multiply the quotient by 100%. So as what we did earlier, we percentage scores is equal to 145. So ang 145 mo ni siya ang total raw scores. Then divided by 160, ang 160 is mo ni siya ang highest possible score. 60 is the highest possible score. Then times 100%. So the partial of written work is for learner A. So si learner A ito nakagkuha og 90.63. So the percentage the same as learner B and learner C. Mo gyapon tatong steps na gibuhat. We multiply we divide the total raw scores to the highest possible score. Then after that, we multiply it to 100%. Then step 3. So convert the percentage scores to weighted scores. Multiply the percentage score by the weight of the component indicated in table 4 and 5. So as we did earlier, mo to siya mga itong gibuhat. So the written works is for the English grade 4 is 30% sa written works niya. So ang weighted scores na na-obtain ni learner A is 90.63. So we multiply it to 0.30. So mo to siyang naka-come up siya og 27.19. So sa 30%, si learner A nakakuha siya og 27.19. So si learner B nakakuha siya og 41.67. Then no, sa performance task din siya. Okay, for the performance task for English 4 is 50%. So si learner A, iyang nakuha na weighted score is 88.33 or 83.33. So ato siyang i-multiply to 0.50. So nakakuha si learner A og 41.67 sa 50% na performance task. Sa quarterly assessment, si learner A naka-obtain siya 80. So ang 80 ato siyang di-multiply to 0.20. So si learner A nakakuha siya og kanang weighted score sa quarterly assessment og 16. Then the next one is we need to transmute the initial grade using the transmutation table. To. So si learner A nakakuha man siya og 84.86. So tan-aw nito diri sa transmutation table. So ang 84, iyang transmuted grade is 90. So the quarterly grade in English for the first quarter ni learner A is 90. So mo ni siya ang mo reflect sa inyong report card. So for MAPE, individual grades are given to each area, namely music, arts, physical educations, and health. So the quarterly grade for MAPE is the average of the quarterly grades in the four areas. So ang quarterly grades sa MAPE, so daghan man ang subject sa MAPE, di ba? Nag-compose sa music, arts, physical education, and health. So ang kanang quarterly grade for music, i-plus na to siya sa quarterly grades sa arts as well as the PE and health. Then after that, we divide it into four to get the overall grade for this subject. So how are grades computed at the end of the school year? So for kindergarten, there are no numerical grades in kindergarten. Description of the learner's progress in the various learning areas are represented using checklist and student portfolio. So these are presented to the parents at the end of each quarter for discussion. Additional guidelines on the kindergarten program will be issued. So we have here for the grade 1 to 10. So the average of the quarterly grade produces the final. So we have here, og unsay na-obtain sa learner sa first grade, ato na siyang gitawag diri og first grading, second grading, third grading, fourth grading, or first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. So unsay kuan adto niya nakuha na um, quarterly grades, ato na siyang i-add. Then after that, i-divide na to 4. Mo na siya ang final na grade na na-obtain niya sa upat ka quarter. So the general average is computed by dividing the sum of all final grades by the total number of learning areas. So each learning area has equivalent weight. So general average, so the sum of final grades of all learning areas, mo to siya ang first grading, second grading, third grading, fourth grading. So i-divide na to siya sa total number of learning areas and grade level. So once I na-obtain na scores from first grading, for example, nakakuha siya 90. Sa second grading, nakakuha siya 94. Sa third grading, nakakuha siya 93. Sa fourth grading, nakakuha siya 94. So, i-total na to siya. Then, after that, we divide it into 4 para makuha na to ang general average. So, the final grade in each learning area and the general average are reported as whole number. So table 8 shows an examples of final grades of the different learning areas and general average for grade for students. So man siya ang ilang card. Okay. Di ba mo ninyong card na nadawat sa katong high school pa mo? Di ba wala siya point, whole number siya. So, table 10, these are the descriptors, grading scales, and remarks. So, we have here the descriptor, outstanding to very satisfactory, fairly satisfactory, did not expect or did not meet the expectations. So, the grading scales for outstanding is 90 to 100%. Then the very satisfactory, 85 to 89. The satisfactory, 80 to 84. The fairly satisfactory, 75 to 89. So, ang did not meet the expectations below 75 or failed. So, mo to siya ang ways or anong steps on how to compute the grades. So, I hope you learned something or I hope you understand.